want about him, but literally Markiplier's helped me get through a lot and everything else. And I actually have a phobia where I hope I never meet him in real life because I'm terrified that he's not going to be the hero that I thought he was and everything. So I have a phobia of meeting my heroes in real life because they're not actually here. The good people I think they are and everything. So I have a phobia of meeting every single hero and everything, but Mark more than any of them because I just love him so much. He's just such a sweet guy, and he has generally helped me get through so much of my depression. I know that's thing. I know that the stereotypical thing of like Markiplier saved my life. Markiplier actually saved my life multiple times. I have just suffered with depression and stuff like that so long. Anyway, I can't really get into it right now, but I have to think. But I saw this game and I thought it was really cute and adorable. Tiny Box Tim. It's got a little Tiny Box Tim on it and everything. And I thought it was really good. Anyway, I gotta pause real quick, but let me try to get into it. Anyway, thanks guys. Let's get into it real quick. Check out Mark's channel. Check out the creator's channel. Please do that because I think, and even if it's not a good game, I still want to check out the creator and give it support. Definitely check out Mark's channel, especially if you're going through a hard time. Literally, some of his videos will just make you happy. Please turn your device in a vertical position. Oh, that's cool. How do I do this? Oh, I see. I think. I don't understand. Hang on, I need to. Oh, I see. It's a slider. You slide. Oh, you catch planets and you avoid the asteroids. That's kind of cute. Oh crap. Sorry about that. Oops. Try it again. Space, so beautiful. Oh, come on, I wasn't even near it. Space is so cool. So cool. Oh, crap. You really can't let them get next to you at all. That's a little frustrating, but I guess it just tries to make you a better gamer. Hey, I wasn't even near that. Got 2 planets over there. Anyway, if you guys don't like Markiplier and everything else, I guess that's okay, but it's just, for me, Markiplier's just, I don't think there's a day I go by and I haven't watched him at least once. There's been very few times where I've actually, like, gone a day without watching him and everything, but even then, I'll watch Wade, I'll watch Bob, I'll watch Distractable, like, there's almost not been a day where I have, like, oops, sorry, got into that one. Tiny Box Tim! Hey! Little Biscuit! I gotta get Little Biscuit! Gotta get Biscuit! You can't leave Tiny Box Tim alone! Yay! I got Tiny Box Tim! I'm so happy! I love Tiny Box Tim! Actually, around the time that he discovered Tiny Box Tim was about, I think, around the time that, well, it's hard to say that and everything else, because one of his very first videos that I watched where it was just him was actually the video where he met Tiny Box Tim. And before that, it's weird because the concept of YouTubers was never actually a thing for me. It was like, okay, videos online, everything. But to me, I don't know if you guys have the same opinion. I was like, it's weird because it's almost like they weren't people before. Sorry. It's almost like they weren't people. It's like, you saw the name, you saw them posting the videos and everything else and all, but you didn't check out their channels. You didn't really take it seriously, and you didn't realize. It's weird. It's like that disconnect. you didn't realize that these were people and everything and all that were able to do all this stuff. Then you just like, okay, it's a video online. There was just that disconnect. But for me, when I almost didn't even look at the thing. I think the only people I'd ever looked at and everything else and all, and be like, oh, these are people and everything, they're doing things, and I guess that's cool and everything else and all. But oh crap, you really can't get next to him or he'll blow it up. Anyway, the people, I think it was like Jen and Pat, like from the Minecraft series and everything, where it was like Jen and Pat, the Minecrafter and everything else, and they were doing Lucky Box video. But literally, I never looked at the bottom of the screen, and I never looked at a person's name until the day that I met. Basically, the day that I watched a Markiplier video, and the day that I watched a Markiplier video, crap, there was no getting out of that. The day that I watched a Markiplier video, the video that I had watched, well, I'm trying to think, because the thing is, it's weird, it's hard to pinpoint my very first Markiplier video, and I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but it's hard to, like, do your very first Markiplier video and everything. When the, it's like your very first Markiplier video. The best thing I can say, sorry, I'm getting distracted. Anyway, the best Markiplier video that I think I've ever... The very first Markiplier video that I can remember seeing was Five Nights at Freddy's. Because I was in that mood and everything where I had started to try to overcome my fears when something scared me. And if you guys don't know this, one of my phobias is actually dolls and actually mannequins and animatronics, stuff like this and everything. So when I just started watching movies that scare me as a kid. I'd started watching Freddy Krueger. I started watching Chucky a little bit and everything, though that's still a hard one for me. I'd started watching Pennywise because the Pennywise, I think, movie had come out at the time. I can't tell for sure at that shit. Sorry. But I'd started, because I loved Halloween Horror Night and everything, and I loved Halloween, and I wanted to get better at decorating for Halloween, and I wanted to dress up for Halloween and everything, and I was getting kind of into creepypasta around that time. I'm trying to think, did I get into creepypasta that time or not? I think I was. It's hard to say. It's hard to remember stuff like that and everything, because it's like it all blurs together and everything else and all, because it just happened at so many different times, and I don't know if I have it all in the same year or what. Oops. Anyway, getting on to the thing. The very first Markiplier video that I had watched and everything, that I don't remember if it was him or not, because I remember I watched Jack. I remember it was Five Nights at Freddy's. The Five Nights at Freddy's series and everything I watched. I can't remember if I watched and it was Mark, because I vividly remember that the very first Five Nights at Freddy I watched, because I kept going after Five Nights at Freddy's videos and everything else, because I wanted to overcome my fears, and also, it was really big at the time, so all those jump scares and everything and all were really scary to me, and I tried to get over my fear. I tried to watch these people play these video games, and it made me feel better about overcoming my fear of mannequins and haunted dolls and all that sort of stuff, all that scary stuff and everything. So Mark... I remember Cinnamon Toast Ken. I remember that one. I remember that he was my first one and everything. But then I also remember, like, I went off and I watched this other one. Oh yeah, that's why. I was watching VR. I was watching Oculus Rift, and I was watching VR because VR was a big thing for them. And I couldn't buy it. I couldn't afford it myself. So I started watching other people start playing it, and I became obsessed with that and everything else and all. And one of the things that I remember watching was... The Birth of Sleep, or was it The Birth of Sleep? Yeah, anyway, Birth of Sleep, and then after that, I started watching Five Nights at Freddy's videos, and the very first Markiplier video that I think I ever watched was actually a Five Nights at Freddy's video, because I was watching Five Nights at Freddy's videos and everything, but the video that I vividly remember watching, where I actually looked at the bottom of the screen, and I was going through a really hard time with my brother, my autistic brother Joey, was going through, like, he was hollering and screaming, and things were really difficult and everything, and also we didn't know what to do at that time. Like, it was difficult, like, it was really difficult for the whole family at that time, because I think he was, like, going through his phase. Basically, he was going through puberty and everything, but puberty for an autistic is a little difficult than everything else, because it's so much harder on the family, because you can't just explain to him what he's going through and everything, and you can't just tell him, and we're from a poor family, so we don't have, like, things like medication and stuff, and also, it was hard for us and everything else. So we were going through a really hard time. Like, we were really suffering, and we were going through, like, depression and stuff and everything else, especially me and my mom and everyone else. Like, it was hard for us to deal with and all, because it was just us girls. It was just me, my sister, and my mom going through it. So I really needed some positivity and all, and I really didn't have anyone to talk to and everything. So I started watching Markiplier, because the very first video that I saw of his was Christmas Shopper Simulator, and literally, I kid you not, I laughed, and then I was like, Mom, you need to see this video. You need to see this. You need to watch this video. And we watched it, and it literally made us laugh, and we still quote it to this day. And then the next video we watched was, I think, Cooking Simulator, and then we watched another one after that me and her quote, I think, is a Tea Party Simulator, which we quote all the time. And we literally watched this guy and watched his foolishness and Tom goofball and everything, and we felt better. We felt like depression couldn't get us. And after that, I just started watching his videos. I actually looked at the bottom of the screen and I said, oh, it's this Markiplier guy. This guy's name is Markiplier and everything else. And literally from that day forward, I literally spent days, hours, nights watching him. And I'm so glad that I believe that God put him in my life, that God put that Markiplier video in my life and helped me watch horror movies, helped me to watch Markiplier and everything else, because I needed it so badly at the time and everything. And if I had not had Markiplier in my life, I probably would not have made it. Even now, there are some days and everything where, like, even through some other situations I've gone through and everything, it's been hard. It has really been hard, and sometimes just watching a Markiplier video literally gets through my depression, reminds me of who I want to be. Because before I started watching Markiplier, I didn't know what humor... I didn't know what humor was. I didn't understand things and all, but then it's like, I didn't know how to take a joke. I took everything so seriously and everything, and I was just, whenever somebody gave me a joke, I was, like, scared and stuff and all. Like, I was a very shy girl and everything else. I was a very shy kid, very shy girl, and I just didn't understand things like humor and everything, and I just didn't have a concept of what I wanted to be when I, like, grew up and everything else. I had all these expectations of what I wanted, but I never found a goal. I never found out what I wanted to do. I never found a thing. Like, there were things it was almost like I didn't feel like I could have a dream or have a desire, because I felt like it was selfish in some ways. Like, oh, the minute I start dreaming of something or start having a dream, it's not gonna work out for me, so why bother having it? And Markiplier kind of got me through that area, because it was him, and it was Jacksepticeye, and it was Cinnamon Toast Ken, and it was Wade and Bob and everything in the Minecraft series and everything else, Jump Minecraft and everything, that really got me through. Like, it got me through some things, and it really taught me who I wanted to be as a person and everything. It started developing stuff inside me that I didn't know was there before. I started learning humor. I started learning to take a joke. I started learning, like, how to tell jokes and how to time it properly and everything else and all. I started learning to let go and to not be so serious. The world wasn't as scary as I thought it was and everything, although it really is scary and stuff like this and everything. And then I met Little Biscuit and everything else and all. I met Little Tiny Box Tim, and I started creating things with Tiny Box Tim, and I listened to Mark, and I listened to his encouragement and everything else. He is so encouraging his fans, and I always told myself that if I ever become as famous as Mark and everything, I want to be just like him. I want to embrace the fans, and I want to appreciate them, and I want to create community and everything else. And it's not about the fame and fortune. It's not about the money or anything else and all like that. It's about doing something that matters for somebody and everything else and all. And the charity that he does do so well and everything else and all, and stuff like that. And just the unapologetic way that he is such a good person and everything else and all. Such a good individual and everything else and all. And just himself. Like, he doesn't have to pretend to be anybody else. He made himself something and everything else like that. And he's got a fire inside of him. It's like he said, when you're at the beginning, you're alone, and sometimes you're gonna have a fire. Sometimes you're gonna either burn out, or you're gonna either burn out, or you're gonna burn so bright that the world, doubt, fear, and everything else can't get to you and everything else. Crap. And that's gonna make people watch, because people watch everything and all. They're gonna do either two things: either they want to see you burn out and they want to see you be negative, they want to see you be destroyed, or they want to see you become something. They want to be a part of that process. They want to be a part of what you've done and everything else and stuff like that. So Markiplier has really become like a hero for me and everything and all. Has really helped me and everything, because without him I would never have found out about Five Nights at Freddy's. I would never have gotten into creepypasta and everything, which I love, and you can see on the videos on my channel right now. I wouldn't have gotten into Slenderman. I wouldn't have gotten into things. I would not have had the sense of humor, and I started to actually get in a better relationship with my dad just a little bit, because my dad's a little bit of a comedian. I wouldn't say comedian, sorry. He has certain jokes and everything, and a certain style of jokes, and he like jokes at me and everything, but I couldn't take a joke because everything was so serious, and I was just scared and paranoid all the time and all that. I couldn't realize what people were joking or what they would say, especially things that were inappropriate and everything, or like somebody would say a cuss word and everything else and all. And sometimes when people would rage, like when my dad would get angry or somebody else would get angry, I would immediately freeze up and get scared and just go into like a panic attack and everything, because I have panic attacks like crazy and everything. So Markiplier's rage and his anger and everything else and all helped me get over that and everything and all, and just help me like get over the fact that somebody gets angry. It's not it's not always something to be scared of. Sometimes it's funny. Sometimes it's good to just, you know, just let somebody rage. Anyway, Markiplier has been such a big hero to me and everything. And anyway, I think we're done. Anyway, if you guys want to play this and everything, please, by all means, do. Support the creator and everything. It's such a sweet little game. I love that they put Tiny Bots Tim in there. I love them in a Markiplier thing. I just wish there was more. On the thing, it's pronounced Dream. It's spelled with 2 E's. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next